Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bonafide Investing. We talk all things high yield investing, as well as options, futures, and really just investment goals in general. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Just want to give you a little bit of background on this channel. So I've been experimenting with some high yield strategies for about a year and a half, and took a significant portion of my personal net worth, about 25% of it, and I put it into this portfolio here that I call Cash Flow Life that is a little over $500,000 high yield experiment using both my own capital as well as margin. Please like and subscribe. Please help support the channel if you like what we're doing here. Nothing here is investment advice, not now, not ever. So please always do your own due diligence and research before making any of your own investment decisions. What I want to talk about today is just the massive distributions that QDTE, XDTE, and RDTE, three of Roundhill's high-yielding zero DTE ETFs, are currently paying to round out the year. These are monster distributions, most likely not sustainable, right? But it's just been a nice year-end payday for this portfolio. I've talked about QDTE, XDTE, and RDTE in past videos. These are all three ETFs by Roundhill Investments that really just do daily covered calls on their respective indices. You have QDTE selling daily calls on the NASDAQ. You have XDTE selling daily calls on the S&P 500. And you've got RDTE selling covered calls on the Russell 2000. I like these three ETFs as part of my strategy. And last week, QDTE paid $1.94 per share, and XDTE last week paid $1.38 per share. This week, they announced today QDTE a $1.72 per share dividend, which annualized is about 272 to 273%. XDTE announced a $2.05 per share distribution paid this week. And that is about a 254% yield annualized. And even RDTE, they're paying out a large distribution of $1.08 this week, which is about 183% annualized. And it's pretty crazy. I thought that QDTE and XDTE had already paid out their big year-end distributions last week, right at Christmas time. These ETFs will pay out larger distributions end of year if their strategy made more than what they had paid out over the year. I'm just really shocked that it's this much. Considering, XDTE, for example, has been paying about 20 to 30 cents a week throughout 2025 on average. Now they're paying, 8 to 10 times that back-to-back weeks. So pretty exciting. That's going to really boost the income for Cash Flow Life the last 2 weeks of the year. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that tomorrow they go ex-div. All three of these ETFs will go ex-dividend date. So they're going to drop. The NAV is going to drop by the respective dividends. So I am anticipating Cash Flow Life to just get absolutely creamed on the daily performance side of things. I know I'll get that back in income on Friday, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Cash Flow Life down significantly since those ETFs have to adjust downward to account for the high distributions that they'll pay on Friday. So just another way I get exposure to NASDAQ, S&P 500, and the Russell for this high yield strategy. Again, zero TTEs are going to lose a lot of their upside growth in exchange for these high income, the high yielding income option instead of that growth component. So keep that in mind. I would never recommend anybody just go out, rush out and start chasing QDT and XDT and RDTE for these huge distributions for these couple of weeks they've had, because again, they're just going to adjust downwards to account for those anyways, right? So I hold them because I dollar cost average back into them daily, right? So I'm buying $200 back into the strategy every single day into the percentage allocations that I'm trying to target across these 15 high yield ETFs. So I was actually, I thought maybe Neos would have had some higher year-end distributions, and they didn't. I was surprised to see that. IGLD, I thought they were a one-off back in early December for their high distribution. It was about 4 times higher than it's been throughout 2025. They actually came out and paid an even higher distribution the end of this month. So IGLD has just been a cash gushing machine for gold as well. Their past 2 distributions. So that's been nice. Still up in that and IGLD as well. So just keep in mind, a good lesson with XDTE back during April when we had that sell off. It took about 6 months for XDTE to recover back its NAV from that 20 to 25% sell off we had in April. Got it back right around October, November. So keep that in mind that the 0 DTEs will take a longer time to rebound their NAV versus something like SPY, right? Where that's yielding much lower, but it's going to track the index much better. It's not going to lose as much of the growth because the yield is lower. So again, I always caution, don't chase high yield just to chase high yield. Again, this portfolio, this cash flow life, the goal is to pay all my bills and maintain and pay down my margin so that I can spend more time with my family, my kids, on hobbies, on things that I want to do instead of working the 9 to 5. So wanted to just share a little bit about QDTE, XDTE, and RDTE, and I guess the Merry Christmas and Happy New Year that these 3 ETFs have brought to end out 2025. So again, please do your own due diligence. Please like and subscribe. Happy New Year, and look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.